Because there was and I'm looking over here because I'm having my notes off to the side over here on the big screen. Now, so the new year hit, right? I did a New Year's Eve stream with y'all. I talked about goals and all that, which I'm very heavy into believing. You should definitely set goals, short-term and long-term goals, right? If you didn't watch that stream, the short-term goals, what I consider short-term, would be goals you plan to hit between 3 and 6 months. What I consider long-term goals are goals you plan to hit between 6 to 12 months, right? And then you just continue doing that every year. Every year you make these goals, and then at some point you will run into, okay, I just achieved my 5-year plan because every year I've been doing these steps to get to this larger goal that I have, this long-term goal I have, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, stuff like that. But you can't really hit those long-term goals without hitting these steps and these milestones in between. So that's why the yearly goal mapping is very important, right? And I did a stream the other day, told y'all how I do it. You can choose to do it the way I do it, or you can do it some other way. It's fine. But just hours after that stream, there was a terrorist attack in New Orleans, right? And people know New Orleans. New Orleans is a huge party destination, right? People from all walks of life in America travel to, and abroad too, travel to New Orleans to have fun and have a good nightlife experience, right? Also, there was a major college football game happening in New Orleans, like just 12 to 15 hours after this incident happened, right? So New Orleans is a major city for tourism. There were a lot of people in town, right? And a person decided that he wanted to drive his truck into a crowd and kill a bunch of people. Let's just go ahead and read some of this stuff. By now you've heard all of this, but I just have to cover it because we got to show respect to the people that was killed for no reason. The headline says New Orleans truck attack suspect inspired by Islamic State terrorist group. So when he did this, he had an ISIS flag on the back of his truck. Complete craziness. At least 15 people are dead and dozens injured in New Orleans after a driver plowed a pickup truck into a crowd of New Year's revelers on Bourbon Street. Police and city officials said the FBI is investigating the incident as an act of terrorism. Okay, some quick facts they're talking about. At least 14 people were killed and dozens injured. So it said 15 before because the person who did it counts as a death. So he killed 14 people, but then one person, including him, one more person, including him, killed, right? At least 14 people were killed and dozens injured after a driver plowed. Okay, said that. The FBI identified the driver as Shamsud Jabbar. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong, but I'm saying it as it looks, as it reads. Shamsud Jabbar. He's 42 years old. He's a U.S. citizen from Texas, Army veteran who was inspired by the Islamic State. The FBI said it has investigated Wednesday's attacks as an act of terror and believes Jabbar acted alone. Okay, he was killed in the shootout with the police. So he pretty much plowed his car and all these people, and then he started shooting at the police so that they could shoot him and kill him. So it's clearly like one of those death by suicide. Suicide by cop killing type of thing. So they ended up finding the half brother of this person and doing an interview with him. The half sibling says the brother was radicalized and struggled to find himself. This comes from a Fox News article. The half brother of terrorist suspect Jabbar blamed radicalization for the attack on New Year's Day in New Orleans. Fox News spoke with his name is Abdur Rahim Jabbar in Beaumont, Texas, where they grew up alongside 3 additional siblings. Abdur said they grew up Muslim along with the whole family. He said that Jabbar stepped away from Islam but found his way back following the 2022 divorce. Now, I saw people on, I saw somebody on Twitter trying to say, they like before all this information came out, they were trying to guess this guy's background, right? And they were saying, no, I know for sure he's a convert. He's not really this Muslim. He's not really this. He's a convert, and he probably converted at XYZ point. But the brother just said, no, their whole family has always been Muslim. That he didn't convert to Islam. Okay. Jabbar struggled to find himself throughout his life, his half-brother told Fox News. He said that his half-brother joined the army to find something, set him straight, ground him, and maybe find a viable career path. Following Jabbar's 2 divorces, his brother said that he was looking for some type of guidance. His half-brother blamed radicalization for the attack and said that he did not see any signs prior to the attack, as well as expressing his condolences for the 15 lives lost. He said this is not a direct reflection of his brother and the Muslim community. Was definitely a reflection of your brother, my boy, because he did it. But it's definitely not a reflection of the Muslim community. No. But it's definitely your brother for sure. So the FBI went to the crib. Let me see. FBI said agents were at the Texas home of Jabbar, the killer, before leaving and releasing the scene. The following video footage posted to social media showing journalists rummaging through residents. Journalist was running photos of the inside of Jabbar's mobile home. So he lived in a mobile home in a majority Muslim neighborhood in North Houston, revealed multiple copies of the Quran, a book on Christianity, and a book about teaching children about Islam. Once the FBI released the scene, the property owners could do with that property as they like. We were there all night. The scene was clear. We got what we needed. The owner of the property has allowed news crews in the past after police searches. Okay, pretty much what they're saying is they let the police and they let the news go through that man's stuff to take whatever you want to take pictures, take anything you can find, take it all. We don't care. That's pretty much what they did after the police was finished with it. Wow. How do y'all feel about this, man? This is so then there was another situation which is not related to this, but they said it was interesting because this man was at Fort Bragg. But this other guy who took a Tesla truck, filled it with explosives and fireworks. They say he shot himself and then drove in front of the not shot himself and then, but he drove in front of the Trump Tower in Las Vegas, shot himself, and then he had the explosives go off, I guess, shortly after, I don't know. I could be mixing all this up about the shot himself thing. But this guy went in front of the Trump Tower and exploded a bunch of stuff or some explosives. Excuse me, I'm sleepy. Some explosives in the back of his Tesla truck, right? Many people know, some people don't. A Tesla truck is bulletproof, right? So it's like an armored truck pretty much. Not fully bulletproof, like where you could shoot large live rounds at it, but it's a bulletproof truck and it's armored up, right? He set off all this explosion. You know, he was killed in the blast, but they say that the Tesla truck contained the blast so good that the windows of the hotel lobby didn't even break out. So the way that it exploded, they say all the explosion blast went upward because the truck contained it. It all went upward. So really that truck should have been destroyed. This was reminiscent of a vehicle-borne IED. If y'all know about V-beds in the military, that was what they was using a lot over in Afghanistan, Iraq to attack American soldiers. They would fill up a vehicle full of explosives, C4, all this type of stuff. And then they would call a cell phone, or they would use some type of radio frequency to detonate that, and it would blow the whole thing up. Except they weren't using a Tesla truck. So when they did it overseas, it would completely destroy everything around it, right? It would kill people and destroy everything. So this person tried to do that, but he rented a Tesla truck, so it didn't work like that because, again, the Tesla truck is armored. So it was just a suicide bomb on himself, and he killed nobody else. So I'm not sure what the purpose. They don't know the purpose of it, but he did that. And then the next day after that, like the 2nd of January, like the early morning, like, when a club was letting out, then somebody does a mass shooting at a nightclub in Queens, New York. So it's like, there's a lot of like just weird energy going on around, you know what I'm saying? You just had the United CEO get killed a little bit ago. So it seems like a lot of people have extreme viewpoints and extreme frustrations, and they don't care whether or not they're part of an organization or a group that can assist them in whatever attacks. They're just going out and carrying these attacks out on their own. That's what it seems like. You know what I'm saying? Because besides this man repping the ISIS flag, which ISIS is overseas, so he was doing it on his own. He was acting on his own, by himself. He just came up with an idea and said, I'm going to just drive my truck. So he didn't even have a bomb. He just drove his truck, a pickup truck, into a crowd of people, which anybody knows a truck hitting another vehicle, it can cause a lot of damage. But a truck hitting you body to truck, that could kill you. So he used his vehicle as a weapon and took out as many people as he could, ended up killing 14. That's a lot of people. You understand? Somebody was walking around with a camera recording the people stretched out all over the ground. It was crazy. It was mayhem. People were in town for the Georgia versus Notre Dame game. They ended up pushing that game to the next day because it was such, it was so bad. And then a lot of people didn't like how the city officials were reacting. The city officials seemed to be more focused about tourism and how people would view New Orleans had they known that there was a terrorist attack in that city. So they're like, nah, no, it wasn't really a terrorist attack. This person just did whatever he did. You know what I mean? Like, keep on partying and all that. So they weren't really too concerned with much else except their tourist economy. And they even put out, hey, the most of the people that died here were local. So all you out of towners, y'all don't have anything to worry about. That's a sick thing to put out in a situation like this. Like, hey, out of towners and tourists, y'all don't have nothing to worry about. The people that did the dying, they were local. They were here, most of them. They didn't even put a count. They just said, yeah, the majority were local. So that's just kind of very, 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 very insensitive. Very insensitive. Not okay. Not okay. Now,